like Nashville country. Like it's mainly country. It's a lot of bluegrass, Americana, folk.
Oh, so it's a like
It's a venue, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like a bar. They have a lot of events. They got like a live stream. It's a cool bar. I've played there a few times.
How big is it?
It's like medium. It's like a little bit bigger than like a dive bar.
Okay.
It's a good venue. The stage isn't like huge. The stage is probably like from that like side of the TV back to the wall.
Okay.
Oh shit.
But
Pretty normal. Pretty normal. What is your favorite place you've performed so far?
I think Eastside Bowl's pretty cool.
You
Exit
played
In.
at Eastside Bowl.
Yeah, I've played there a couple
fuck yeah.
times. It's a cool spot. I like Exit In's cool. I don't really love like the sound of it. Like on stage, everything's dry and weird.
The balcony's nice.
Yeah, Basement East is cool. I like all the honestly, man. Like Third and Lindsley has like the best sound. They got that old lady running sound, and she's so good.
I haven't played out in Nashville in a long time. Like it's been a long time.
Yeah. I'm kind of like I gotta sculpt my band and get our set down. So we've been playing a lot of just like whatever happens. But once we're past that, I'm definitely gonna like not play the scene.
I feel it.
I've played the scene in like 30 bands. I've been in 30 bands since I moved here. So like I've played every venue and I've seen a lot of shit, and I just feel like really if you want to succeed, the scene's not really it. It's playing outside. It's like touring or playing like bigger opening slots. Which to do that you have to be familiar with the scene. People got to know who you are.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like there's so many people out here cheating the system that it's like it doesn't. I mean, there's buy-ons and shit. You know what I mean? It's like if you have all your stuff together, you have a foundation laid out, and you got like good music out. You don't necessarily have to play like the first few steps. I call it like Guitar Hero Nashville.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you gotta start with some of the smaller venues and work your way up naturally.
So speaking of knowing who you are, who are you?
Are we recording right now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
No
cool.
intro.
Yeah.
This is a really late question.
Yeah. Who am I? Artist name is Brother Dusty. I consider myself more of a rock artist, at least in the spirit of rock and roll.
Yeah.
But I take pride in like really branching out and like being part of multiple cultures. I love like pushing myself into a little bit of hip hop, a little bit of jazz. I do like when I met Ridge, I was doing more of my like folk blues type of
Yeah,
stuff.
I was about to say that's when I met you, and we only met a couple like July. July 5th.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I think that there's like a rock and roll foundation, but I really like to, like I said, branch out and be a part of a little bit of everything. I'm classically trained. I started off on drums. My dad was a bass player, so I play bass.
Hell yeah.
I usually sing and rap and play bass. Like that's my usual thing. You'll catch me doing. But like I've been doing solo acoustic gigs. And then I'm trying to like work parts of my show in where I play drums and like percussion and stuff.
Trying to be like Getty. Is it Geddy Lee who was doing the drums and vocals, or was it
Phil Collins?
Phil Collins.
Geddy Lee, yeah, that was Phil
Geddy Lee
Collins.
was
Yeah,
bass
Geddy
and
Lee
drums.
was bass and vocals. Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, I it's weird because people want you to pick a lane and have something that you're noticed
Not
for.
as bullshit.
But I'm trying to just take the extra time to have my artist persona like be known as the dude who like has like a circus act where he sort of like goes around and does a little bit of everything. You know?
I mean that'll definitely diversify you from the majority of other artists. I mean,
Yeah.
there are other people who do stuff like that, but not like we were listening. Like I said, we were listening to your music, and I've listened to it before when he first told me that you were coming on.
Okay.
And the different twists and turns with your music taste is like kind of refreshing. It's
good.
When I like first like took a look at your Instagram page, I was looking at a lot of your videos, and the first thing that kept coming to mind was Jack White. Like you seem like you're like very Jack White-esque, and Jack White has been a huge influence when I was growing up. Like that was like my guy, like fucking number one fucking inspiration, man.
I love White Stripes, and before I moved here, I was a teacher actually.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Really?
it's hilarious.
How does that happen?
So it was technically I was a drumline coach and I was like a percussion director, but like I mean I had like the keys to the school, and like I was about as much of a teacher as any other teacher.
Just fucking with.
But I would.
So it's like drumline.
Yeah. But I would also teach like drum set and like bass guitar and stuff.
Sick.
And I mean every single student that I got, I would start off with Seven Nation Army.
Dude, that was the first song I ever learned. That's awesome.
A lot of White Stripes music, you can learn the fundamentals of how music works. So it was easy for me to start with that because it's like whether the students were like 4 to 10 years old or they were like 10 to 18 years old, the quicker that they got through it, you know, that was different based on their skill and their age and everything. But it was just easiest to explain like the way that tempo works and groove, because I mean the song is just kick drum on the floor the whole time. You know what I mean? So it was just an easy way to just like relay the basics. And get them going and really test out how quick they learn those things. And then based on like how quick they could learn Seven Nation Army is where I would take the next direction. But for a lot of them, I didn't want to bore them. Like some of them, they didn't practice and they weren't great. Exactly. So it's like, well, we're going to do Blue Orchid because it's just Seven Nation Army, but faster on drums, you know. But
hey, Meg has a simple taste, okay?
She does. As funny as it is, man, Meg White has actually been one of my favorite drummers ever because she shows what the drums are. I think that there is kind of an overcompensation of drummers, especially right now, man. Like everybody's trying to be so technical and do all the crazy linear.
It's because of
like,
gospel chops.
Yeah, they're trying to do all the gospel chops, man. And like I respect that shit, and I think it's so cool. But like drums are boom and, you know what I mean? It's like, and that's it. And there's crashes, and it's like you're orchestrating like the energy. And people were like, "Oh, do you know how to do like 7/5s?" And it's like, no one wants to hear you do 7/5. Like, no one cares about that.
I mean, you lose if you watch people's faces when you do stuff like that, they're gone. As soon as you start doing that, they're gone. And it's like the only people you play. So I also do stuff like that. And one of my buddies, his name is Darius Dalton, he plays keys. Yeah, like because I played bass in church and stuff. And one of the things that I was talking to him about one time, I was like, I feel like when we get super off in the weeds with stuff like that, we're only playing to other musicians.
Exactly. And other musicians don't buy your tickets.
Exactly.
Unless you're popping, you know. Well, that's what's been crazy about Nashville is everybody says, like, surround yourself with people who are like-minded and put yourself in a room with people that are like you and think like you, and you can elevate each other and like work together. And that's what I've tried to do. But now anytime I'm like, yo, I have a gig this Friday, all of my friends are like, yo, I have a gig
exactly
this Friday.
Like I do too.
Yeah. And it's like, it's been a weird thing where now I'm like, dang, like I should make more friends with people who like don't do anything near what I do, you know.
And on top of that, they'll bring in other people that you wouldn't run into. And if you're stuck talking to just musicians, you're just in a closing circle.
I would say though, back to the influence thing, like I love Jack White. Rage Against the Machine is probably my primary influence. Black Sabbath was the first band I ever got into. But obviously, like, my music goes in so many different directions. But, like, the main thing that I think of when I think of myself is, like, more the Rage, Beastie Boys type of, like, fusing hip-hop and rock and roll. Like, I feel like that kind of encompasses what I'm more about. I just really like to dip my toes into other stuff. Here lately, I've been realizing my top vocal influences are Jack White, Jimi Hendrix, Kid Cudi, Lil Jon, bro, and and Rob Zombie. Because bro, Lil Jon is so rock and roll. If you think about it, if you listen to his voice, if you took his voice and put it over guitars, it's like he's a rock vocalist for sure.
Oh yeah.
And that just hit me like last month because I was like going back on some Lil Jon shit, and I was like, dude, this guy's one of my biggest influences, and like I don't even think about that when people ask me. So I made a mental note, like next time someone brings some shit up, it's like Lil Jon is one of my biggest inspirations for sure.
You want to know something crazy?
What?
I feel like over time in the R&B and hip hop space, the rock and roll aspect kind of like there was like a separation because in the beginning there was like Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, it's like they had guitar, they had R&B,
Yeah.
they had all this stuff, and it was like it wasn't just a whole bunch of clean shit either.
Yeah.
They were going everywhere.
Yeah, once the bedroom studio became possible, I think that was where, because hip hop has definitely, not all of it, but a lot of it has been more about sampling and beats and 808s and like FL Studios, and it just made it possible for people who, I mean, this is a hot take, but like as someone who plays instruments and enjoys technical skills and is classically trained, hip hop has really opened up a door for not everybody, but like I'm saying, like on the bottom tier of it, it's really opened up for people that aren't even talented to like feel like they're musicians, and that's okay. I mean, music is subjective, but like in any other genre, like you have to have some sort of technical skill. But with EDM and hip hop, there's definitely layers where it's like, okay, no, you're good and your music is good and you actually do utilize real instruments and you do utilize technical skills. But like, it's like listen to like me and my buddies were just listening to like Crank That Soldier Boy.
Yeah.
Bro, that shit was, those sounds are when you open up FL Studio for the first time.
Yeah.
That shit's right there.
Yeah.
The ding, ding. Yeah. It's right. It's like as soon as you open this, it's like they didn't even press no buttons. They didn't press anything. They opened up the program and were like, "All right, boop 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 boop," and then the beat was done. And it's like, damn. I mean that was a hit. So it just goes to show it doesn't really matter. I'm just saying EDM at its lowest tier of technical abilities and hip hop beats and production at its lowest tier have really opened up a door for just anybody and their brother to be like, oh yeah, I make music. You know what I mean?
Deadmau5 had a master class.
Yeah.
And he talked about that. He was like, because a lot of people just open up and think that they just had the loudest noise that just sounded weird and was like, yo, dude, I'm finna be the next. It was like, look, dude, please try to learn something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of people. I have a friend who does violin over EDM.
You talking about Stir Fry?
No, her name is Serena Z, and I hired her for some of my stuff. And she was telling me that, like, she just did her very first gig live, and she did Lost Lands. And she was worried because she said people actually in the EDM community are starting to gatekeep and get really mad if you're not doing your own transitions and you're not like fusing the songs into the next songs and like actually making something. Yeah. Because there is such a negative stipulation on EDM of like, or DJs. It's like, bro, you literally, like, yeah, you just have an iPhone with an aux cord and you're like, oh yeah, I make music. And it's like, you
just play your playlist. That's all it is.
So she was like, I mean, she actually literally plays the violin over the top of everything, but she was worried because she was in a hurry and she had to just formulate and craft her entire playlist, which she did program herself.
Yeah.
But she ideally wants to be able, while playing violin, to create all those transitions live. And she said that the EDM community has really like stepped it up and been like, we don't like that. Like, we don't like anyone who comes up here and just presses one button and then just like dances behind the table.
Yeah.
Which is good, dude. Like, I think that's great because
ups the show.
Yeah.
And like you said, it does kind of weed out people who.
Yeah. I mean,
it's kind of like it's like seeing you hear somebody, you hear a band song, off the record, and then you see it live, but maybe they change it up a little bit.
Right,
like that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're giving variation.
Absolutely,
of
and it's
made.
realness. And I think like music, you digest music the same way that you digest food, and I think that bad quality food makes for a bad quality experience in life, and I also think the same for music. And I think that here lately, like in the last generation or so, there's really been a push for like the least like it's like the lowest quality is what's cool right now. It's like bad, funny, satirical covers on Instagram and like shit that you can sell, shit that you can like share with your buddies because it's so hilariously bad has like really taken over. But I just think when someone comes to a show and they experience someone who has like next level skill and talent, it really like weaves into their subconscious mind and changes the way they look at the world, you know? And it's like you can try, you can be better, you can make people feel something that they've never felt before. Yeah. You can be 11 out of 10. And I think there's just this huge thing right now where it's like to be relatable to society, everyone's brain rotting and miserable and like spending too much time like worried about politics and shit. So it's like people think that the most relative music you can make is like more of like a 5 out of 10 or lower because it's funny and it relates to the state of the world. But it's like, I guess I'm coming from a position where I would rather shoot higher for that and like try to fix the world. It's like try to be a little bit more medicinal, regardless of what your music is and how you're doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like what you're saying, and I totally agree. I think I take it a little bit further because I like artists that go as far as like engineer their own shit. Like, like they're even people that are in the studio. They're literally like in the nitty gritty of it. They're literally setting up a microphone next to a guitar cab and like going and hooking it up to even a Focusrite. Like we got a Focusrite sitting on the table right there. Like hooking it up into one of those and then just like recording it yourself. Like I fucking love that. That was one of the biggest things that drove me. We talk about Suicide Boys like crazy on this podcast.
Welcome to Suicide Boys podcast. Essentially,
right. I like Ghostman personally.
Oh yeah, same
dude. Yeah. And he was a huge inspiration for me making music too. And but it was because he gets in there, he sets up a microphone and goes to town. Like I think the software he uses is old as fuck, dude. It's from like fucking
that's awesome
2012 or some shit.
But it works perfect for his fucking sound.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What you were saying a minute ago about how kind of sort of catering to the lowest common denominator would be like I was gonna say Ridge inserts the Yin Yang tapes here. Yeah. Like,
oh my god.
Oh yes.
I fucking hate the Yin Yang tapes. Dude.
Oh, with
he feels like he feels like they were just catering to like same thing.
I think they could have released the Yang Yang tapes without the filters on them. That's all I was saying.
Yeah.
Like, but other than that, like, I don't know. It was catering to the
Freddie Dredd audience.
Yeah. Everybody, like, Freddie Dredd blew up because he had the sound, and I kind of feel like they just copied him, even though they featured Freddie Dredd on one of the tapes. But
I think all this stuff makes me realize how much I enjoy like niche underground culty. Like I'm more of like a Wu-Tang. I just like stuff that has its own world behind it, and then it's like you look at someone like, a great example is like Taylor Swift. Like she is like the Michael Jordan, McDonald's, Nike of music, and it's like I respect it. Like it's just not what I'm into. You know what I mean? But the fact is like she is catering to the largest demographic. She is catering to like, I mean, maybe a hot take, but I would say is the lowest common denominator of society. People who are like upset at their boyfriends or whatever it be. You know what I mean? And it's like it sells. It's great. And then you've got someone like myself who I'm over here like I'm gonna take rock and roll and then mix rap beats into it, and then I'm gonna play jazz bass lines over it, and then the next song's gonna be like a country blues song, and it's like that is not gonna connect with the lowest common denominator in the same way that someone who just has a consistent brand. So that's been one thing that's a little tough for me. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
I'm not gonna lie. Whenever we were listening to your music before we started shooting, you came through. Most of your music, I was hearing mainly like Red Hot Chili Peppers or Incubus, which I feel like there's a nice little hole where Red Hot Chili Peppers is doing different things on different songs, but they were mixing up the funk and rap and rock and roll and rap.
Yeah, I would agree with that. What's interesting is I'm pretty sure y'all are playing the Stick It to the Man album. When I was making that album, man, that was a bunch of side projects. That was me. It took me 10 years to make that album, and not because I worked on it for 10 years.
It makes me feel so much better.
I did, yeah.
Oh my God, that makes me feel so much better.
So I did 10 years of just other shit, and I worked on that album when I had nothing else to do for 10 years. And I never took it super serious. I never thought of business. I never was like, oh, are people going to listen to this? Like, it was literally like, this is just my fun, like, pet project or whatever.
This is like your practice.
Yeah, I mean, it was just me taking all the ideas that I was like, this isn't necessarily good enough for my band or, like, something that I really want to do. And it represents me more than it represents, like, any of the bands that I was playing in. And dude, I did a lot of it with a lot of different people. Almost every song has a different like musical feature from someone else that I was like playing with in the scene, or like someone that I was in a band with, and I would just have them come in and play guitar over the song or whatever. But what's really crazy, not to like do this to the vibe or anything, but that whole album was engineered by my buddy Paul. And Paul was my at the time that we finished the album finally. He was my landlord and my roommate and my engineer. And dude, one day he like went out and the cops called me and was just like, "Hey, we found your buddy's body in the car." And I had to find all of his stuff. Like his parents are back up in Indiana, and like I literally released that album literally for the I mean, that was like years ago now, and it's a whole. I mean, that's a whole rabbit hole to go down. But
that's awesome that he at least got the mix.
Yeah, well, we finished the album, and I literally put that album out. Not even I was still like 1,000% in my band. Like I was just focused on that, and this whole that I think the album is good. I think it's cool. And it's unique and it's fun. It's like pretty low quality, and I definitely could have tried harder. But I think overall, like I put that shit out and then I walked away, because the whole point of me putting it out was like this was the last project that my buddy ever did before he died. So it's like it needs to live on. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I literally put it out, promoted it for like a week, and then just left and just like walked away. And then my band broke up last year. And then I'm like over here pulling that album up. I'm like, damn, bro. Like I should have worked a little harder to promote this.
Crazy thing is, and I'm gonna say this just because I saw Tyler the Creator talking about it recently on an Instagram post. Hell, it ain't too late to promote that shit.
That's what I've been doing. I've been doing like a little flashback Friday on my Instagram, because I've been making a lot of new fans around town and like touring, and I've just met a lot of new people since I put that album out, and I know that it's new to them. It just, at this point in my career, it doesn't really, I mean, man, some of those songs were written over 10 years ago, and they don't necessarily represent, like, who I am as a person anymore.
Yeah.
But I do like them, and it's, like, it's sad that I put them out, and I know how to promote to a certain extent. I know how to, like, work on the numbers and the marketing and everything. And I just really didn't, man. Like I did music videos for fun because I like music videos.
Yeah.
But overall, dude, like I just put them out and then moved on every single time. Like everything on that album was literally me just saying like, "Hey world, whoever cares, this is out." And then I just moved right on to the next thing. So now looking back, I mean, I think my plan is put out more music and then get people over to the Spotify or whatever they're gonna listen on. And then just find the old music, and I think that I'll probably get a little traction on some of those songs from that,
Yeah,
for sure. Going back just a second, you said like that you were just kind of like you just kind of kept going through shit. Like that was the mental note that I took when every time I see something on Instagram that you post, I'm like, dude, this guy just keeps fucking going. Like nothing seems to stop you from making music, bro. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you, man. I don't really do anything else. I've had day jobs.
That's so awesome.
And I did Broadway for like 3 to 5 years full time, and that started phasing out, and I started doing like music videos and social media content. And then there was a certain point, man, where like one of my really good friends, she's a country artist. She's like a touring artist. She's made it to the level. Like, you know how everyone's like, man, I wish I could get like rich to where I could just pay for someone to do all of my chores and shit.
Yeah.
I have a friend who's there, and
Hell yeah.
and I'm the person that gets paid to do all the chores. So
That's awesome.
my job right now. I mean, I still play gigs. Like me and my roommate, we play like private events and stuff like that, and I make a lot of money doing that. But I mean, most of my life is spent. I basically chill at this artist's house and do the chores and run the errands, and I'm just kind of there on call to do whatever I got to do, but I pretty much just focus on the studio, and all I really do is just like record. So when my band broke up last year, I had like 30 to 50 songs because I was in that band, like that was my primary interest for 10 years straight. And when we broke up, I had all these songs, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm doing all of it. So I'm recording 3 albums right now. I've got a rock album that's very similar to the first one.
I told you guys he doesn't stop.
Yeah. I've got, all I have to do is record one more vocal track on that, and the album's done. I've got a country blues album. It's like I'm calling it outlaw country because not because it sounds like old like Willie Nelson or like the outlaw country guys like the Merle Haggard and
Johnny Cash.
Yeah, like all that stuff. I mean, it's influenced by that, but honestly, man, like it's like a big slap in the face to country music. Like I feel like diehard country fans are gonna be like, "Fuck this guy," but that's the point. That really is the point. And it's crazy because these songs are old, but like the whole Beyonce thing when she came out with that album and everyone was like, "This ain't country." It was like that's what this album is. But I had all this written like before all that, and I just wasn't recording them. But
Do you know the Australian guy, fucking Jackie or Jakey something? He's getting big on Instagram. I see him on fucking Instagram every time.
Slow
I open.
Jack.
maybe
Who it is? He
I
does
don't
all
know.
the political shit
Slow
too.
Jack.
Slow Jack. He's Australian.
Yeah, Slow
He's
Jack.
making this like new country. I'm wondering if that's what the same.
I bet
sound is.
I've seen it. Well, it's a lot of boom bap and 808 trap beats over bluegrass. But like bluegrass people are so gatekeepy that it's like I can't even call it bluegrass. But it's like folk instruments, man. It's like upright bass, acoustic guitar, fiddles, mandolins, banjos. But then it's over like rap beats, and then the vocals are like a little bit more rock and roll. But I'm done with that album, and like now it's just getting mixed and mastered, and then I've got like a soft kind of folky, like love ballad. I don't even know, like indie, like kind of symphonic orchestral album, and I'm like almost halfway done with that one. But my plan is to have all 3 albums done by the end of the year, and just be able to sit on 3 albums worth of music, and then spend the next like 2 years like touring, releasing music, working on music videos,
Where
like
do you
playing the business end of everything, you know?
Where do you want to tour?
I mean, I think everybody wants to like travel the world, but being more realistic and businessy about it. Like I'm going to start touring right now in October, just to like go out and get my feet wet everywhere to where next year I can like play bigger stuff when I tour.
Definitely.
We're going to New Orleans this year, which will be my first time in New Orleans, man. And I'm excited because we're just gonna go chill there too. Like we're just gonna spend like a week there.
That's awesome.
And then we're going through the Midwest because I got connections like pretty much all over like Indiana and Ohio. We're actually I don't know if you all have ever heard of this band called The Haunt. They're like if Stevie Nicks sang for Paramore, like that's kind of how I describe it. But they're kind of huge right now, man, and we're gonna open up for them in Chicago November 9th. So I'm pretty pumped about that.
Oh fuck.
And then I'm working on going up to New York, which would also be my first time in New York. And then I want to finish the year off in December, going down to Florida where it's not snowing.
Yeah.
So that's what. And then next year, I mean, I'm just kind of one of those dudes where it's like because what I do with my business is traveling, but is getting paid to travel. I don't travel a lot because it's like, oh, I'll go there when I get a gig one day. You know what I mean? I've never been to California, bro.
I've had that. That's been my mentality.
Crazy.
I've always just like rather see the world through a tour
Yeah.
bus, honestly. Like,
Yeah, and that's been a fault of mine, bro, because sometimes you just got to do it because time slips and you're like, damn, bro, like I never went to any of these places that I said I was going to go to. And so now I'm just booking the tours and hoping for the best. But like, I think it's at the point, and I've talked to my band about it, it's just like, this doesn't necessarily matter if we make money. Like, I legitimately just want to go here. Like, I hope y'all are cool with that. Like, I want to just go spend like a week in New Orleans and just like see the culture and see the people and just like go try the food and just do it because we want to do it, and then we'll have shows as well.
with with your music, I'm sure you're able to see like a geographic location of kind of where your stuff's being streamed at. Is there anything outside of the U.S. that kind of piques your interest or popularity on your based on your music or anything
Dude,
like that?
I've heard South America is like still in the American '90s when it comes to like rock bands and shit, and so I'm curious to see that. Like they love like real music. Like I'm sure they've got like EDM and like hip hop scenes down there too. But like
Right.
from what I understand, is South America and like Europe are both super down.
They're fucking rocking down
This isn't as relevant anymore, but when I was playing in my old band, our music was very like rap rock, but like everything was Egyptian and like kind of like Egyptian, Arabian, or like even like musically, you could even say like more of like gypsy jazz type of like. We just played like the more Arabian scales, and I always thought it would be cool slash a little sketchy and scary, but like to go to the Middle East and like be like, "What's up? We're three white boys playing your shit because we love you," you know. And I was always curious to try that, but I was also scared that they were going to be like, you're appropriating our culture, and it's like, well, we're not going
No,
to.
I think that's only white women that'll tell you.
Yeah, that's real. But yeah, I don't know, but that would always be cool. I mean, I would love to go to like Greece and Italy and stuff. I've heard Japan's pretty cool.
You ever run into some dudes named Ethan Salas and Hunter Mellish?
I don't think so.
Okay, never mind. Continue. Keep going.
I mean, that's really it, man. I'd like to go. I'm gonna try and get to South by Southwest next year down in Texas.
Oh, that'd be sick.
Let
me ask you this: how'd you get into playing the upright?
So
because I think that is so sick. Like
my dad's a bass player. He used to have
right,
one.
you said that. I'm sorry.
And there was there was like a phase that I recorded on upright a few years ago. I forget what possessed me to get one. I had been talking about getting one, and I finally was just like, I wonder, now that I'm going solo, some of these songs would be cool if I just sang and played an upright. And so
that you hit it, man. That shit's pretty dope.
Oh, thanks, man. I went on like Facebook. I went on Marketplace. I like hit up everybody. I went on Instagram, and I just started hunting. And I found a bunch of them for like $800 and $1,000, which is pretty good because most of them are $2,000 to $3,000, and like two to three is the standard. But I was hunting for a while, and my buddy Zach Keefe hit me up, and he was like, "Hey, dude, I got one off of Facebook Marketplace for $400, and I'm moving out of my house, and I don't have room for it, and I just need to get rid of it." And I was like, he was like, "Do you want to come by and look at it?" And I was like, "What do you want?" And he was like, "What do you think?" And I was like, "I mean, you got to get rid of it, dog. Like, what about like $200?" And he was like, "That's what I was thinking."
Damn.
So I got I literally paid like 10% of the price to get that. And then my roommate, we installed a DI box on top of the bass that's like part of the bass now. To where it's like I have a preamp that's just like on the bass itself.
Yeah.
And then I took it to Randy Hunt, which is like, if any of y'all ever have buddies that play upright bass, like Randy Hunt is like, he's the dude who fixes everybody's shit in Nashville.
Is he limited to just upright basses?
I'm sure he could do more, but you literally walk in this man's shop and there's like 30 upright basses.
Oh,
like that's just like who he is. It's his main specialty. But he set it up for me. He gave me new pickups. He modified the neck a little bit, and he told me like he like looked at it and just let me know. He was like, "It was good medium level bass. It's not like great, but it's not shitty." Fixed it up, gave me a stand, dude. So I probably paid like $500 to get, I don't know, like $3,000 worth of gear. It was pretty awesome, man. But I started doing that, and people really liked it because my music is like a lot of hip hop and like rock, but I'm playing upright bass, and it was just so different. And then I started hanging out with Frederick Weathersby, who is a trumpet player who runs the Nashville Monday Night Jazz scene. And long story short, I ended up becoming the house bass player for Nashville Monday Night Jazz, which I did for several months. I'm not really able to do it as much anymore. But that really just like threw me through the portal. I told Frederick he was my Morpheus. Like he opened me up to a whole new world. Because I've been in the rock scene for 8 years, and when my band broke up, when you have to start all over in town and go back to the beginning, it's basically you going and hanging out with all the new people in town and having to start over, which I've already done. So this is my like second time starting over in Nashville, and it's my third like lifetime. So it was one of those things where it was like, if I'm gonna start over and hang out with new people that just moved here to town, because all my buddies are touring. Like everyone that I moved here with, and everyone that I have been working with the whole time, like their lives haven't. I would like start all over. Like they're all touring and they're busy and they're doing really cool shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't want to go back to the fucking Cobra and play in front of 4 people again. Exactly. I love the Cobra. I think it's like a huge staple to the Nashville scene, but it's like I've done that and then I've done it again. I'm not doing it a third time. So Frederick got me into the jazz scene, dude, and I started like networking with like the jazz, hip hop, R&B, Motown scene. I get to be the token white boy like pretty much most of the time. That's pretty cool. But we play at like this soul food kitchen called Kingdom Cafe, and it's been really cool, man. I mean, it's really opened up my musical tastes and abilities, and it's really shown me like cool, subtle ways that I can incorporate jazz into the shit that I'm doing. Oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You ever play at the 5 spot?
I've played many times at the 5 spot.
Love the 5 spot.
Yeah, it's a good spot. It's a good I would put that on like sort of the medium tier of Guitar Hero Nashville. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Where are you shooting music videos at?
Dude, I actually do a lot of work with, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Garden Family, but they actually sell like THC and CBD products, but they have they have a production facility where they have a music video studio, a recording studio, a pizza kitchen.
Damn.
And I help out a lot with that. I used to work for the company, and I got really busy with music, and I just told Sam, the owner, like, hey, like I'll always find a way to work with you. Like I love collaborating with him and like making shit work out. So anytime you ever see me in front of an all white wall or just like a blank wall, that was most likely done at the Garden Family.
Okay.
Yeah. Wall. That's
Fun
awesome.
fact also, I don't sound like this in real life. I threw my voice out. I might be getting like some sort of like sinus infection or like I don't even know. I think shit's just going around. But like, I saw you guys got it written on the screen. Youngblood came to town a couple days ago, and I was already feeling a little scratchy. But me and my friend went out to this like private showing. Hit Parader magazine is coming back, and they're launching their first series with Youngblood as like kind of the star of their cover. And they had like a Q&A session, live screening of his new film, and an acoustic set with like kind of at the end for all the people that just like stayed over for like an hour. He came out and like hung out with all of us, and my friend and him are gonna like work together. So she was my ride, and we all went to Robert's Western World because he wanted to see like the American country. He wanted to like the most Nashville experience he could get, and I mean I just did a variety of partying shenanigans and never went to bed. And then I had to take her to Canada the next day. Well, I had to take her to the airport so she could go to Canada. But I threw my voice out, is what I'm trying to say. Just doing all the things and yelling and not sleeping at all. And so that really cycles back around today. I didn't sleep at all for the last like 2 days. And last night, I knew that I was going to have to be on the podcast. And I was like, I need to sleep as much as possible to where I have a voice. That way I can actually go and not. I sounded like fucking RFK, dude. It was hilarious.
I'm not even going to try it.
And I woke up, dude. I woke up at like 3:40 and saw that like you guys had been messaging me, and I was like, holy shit, I'm an asshole. Because we had to postpone last time because my car broke down. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I do not want these dudes thinking I'm just another fucking bum with a bunch of excuses. So I made some hot tea. I took a bunch of like little herbal supplements and like immunity shots and stuff, and like threw it all into a little concoction and just like did some push-ups and was like, I'm going with or without a voice. Fuck it.
You did a medicinal Bloody Mary.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just talking about
Yeah. I started smoking at 14.
Yeah. Yeah, right. But yeah, I wanted to call you because like I was like, I'm not gonna text him and be like, my voice doesn't work. Like, so I was like, I'm gonna call him and just let him hear me sound like cigarette grandma for a second.
No. We appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, dude.
Even pushing through it,
Yeah.
And I got no complaints, bro. It sound fine to me.
Were these all in case we ran out of shit to talk about? I didn't know if this was a script or what was it?
No, this is kind of sort of, basically like we just like to talk, and if things get a little stale, we just
go off of the
That's
TV
real.
screen.
Yeah, there's some good questions on there.
Anyone you want to work with?
Anyone that I want to work with, swear to God, bro, I'm going right back to it. I'm trying to get Lil Jon on a song. I want to hit up Lil Jon.
For the fucking star.
I want to hit up Lil Jon. I've got a song that I was considered, like maybe asking Denzel Curry to do a verse. I don't know.
I respect the Denzel Curry portion.
Yeah,
Denzel Curry fucking rocks on Bulls on Parade.
Exactly. Yeah, and so I think that would be a cool feature for the rock album. I think that Denzel Curry and Lil Jon would make sense if I could. I'm gonna get it all done, and like I basically released one fucking song this year and decided I'm gonna take this one song and I'm gonna get my numbers up. I'm gonna get my business rolling. I'm gonna put a band together. I'm gonna book all my tours. I'm gonna get management, sync, investors, and everything with one song. And I actually have done it. Like we've got like, I don't know, 3 months for the rest of the year, and I'm like 80 to 90% of all the things that I just said. So my plan is to get there and get the management and get my foundation and like website and all that laid out, and then be like, "What's up, Lil Jon? You're my dad."
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like, pull up, bro, please.
Yeah, and then for the country blues, I've really considered like Billy String. Like I'm trying to aim high. I don't even know if this is possible for where I'm at, but like,
fucking go for that shit.
You'd be surprised. They'll just hit you back.
Well, I got a lot of mutuals with a lot of people at this point, and I've got people like, oh, let's talk to Jelly Roll, and let's talk to Billy Strings, and y'all know Sierra Farrell, the country girl. No. She dresses like a crazy princess from another world, like all day, every day. She's one of my best friends, but she's blowing up, and she just got off tour with Post Malone and Jelly Roll, and she was just on John Mayer's podcast, and she was actually the one who was like, she's gonna work with Youngblood, and her and I went out to a show. But like, it's weird because I don't want to ask her for shit. I want to be her peer rather than like, oh, you're my friend, hook me up. You know, so I'm trying to like get myself to an elevated level where I can prove myself worthy, to where it's like she's not collaborating with me because we're friends and she's just reaching down to help a peasant, you know?
How is that like in Nashville? Like, do you feel like whenever somebody reaches out to you, they want you, they're just trying to get you for playing music, or do you think it's like a lot of it's just mutual? Like, hey man, like I played on your thing, can you come play on my thing? Like, or are you expecting a payment, or what's going on there?
I'm pretty neutral with all that because I understand it and I understand that everybody has a different level of horse blinders. The way that I kind of roll, man, is I think you should meet and network and shake hands and exchange like fucking Instagrams or whatever with everybody. And it might take 3 years. Like somebody that you meet tonight at the bar might be a really important person for your future, but I don't think you should force it. I think the only time that you should meet someone and immediately have like dollar signs in your eyes and start asking them for shit as if your initial conversation with the person goes in that like, oh, I love music videos. Oh, me too. What do you do? Oh, I specialize in this. And it's like, dude, I specialize in that. I need this. Oh, fucking I'm free here. And it's like
mutual.
When it mutually naturally is like, let's work together. But I would say like really the only thing that I don't like doing when people ask me is like touring bands that have never played in Nashville before. I feel bad. Like I always try to help them out. I always try to send them something and like because I know I would want that out of the same and I've had to be that guy in other cities. So but people will be like, yo, do you want to we're coming to Nashville and we're on tour and we got a gig at Springwater or we got a gig at the Cobra and we're playing on a Tuesday night and we don't know fucking anybody. Can you bring your band and bring the entire crowd for us? And it's like, no. but here's 10 other bands that might, you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm not going to be a dick. Like a lot of people would just leave them on red. Right. And it's like, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to help them out the best I can. But that's really the only time where I feel like I wouldn't even say I'm being used. Like those people genuinely need help. Like they need, because I'm like that. But what I do, I find bands first. I don't hit the venues up because I don't want to book a shitty venue. I don't want to book a venue that all the other bands in that town are like typical. We've played it 1,000 times. We're over it. So I hit up the bands and I say like, these are the dates that I want to do, or these are the dates that work. I think you're dope. Would you mind helping me find some other bands or like give me some suggestions? And then if you're down, what venues would actually be good for you? Like, I'm not going to book you at like the dive bar in town. Like you tell me where you want to play and I'll shoot the email for you unless you want to just do it yourself. But it's like, I try to handle as much of the workload as possible when I'm in that situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, makes sense.
But I am getting to the point where I'm meeting a lot of really, really accomplished people. Like, I mean, I was hanging out with Youngblood, but it was weird because every single person that he talked to was like, can I get a picture? I love you. My daughter loves you. I want to suck your dick right now. And, like, and I was like, I think he's great. I think he's awesome. But it's like, I know if I were him, it would probably be nice to have a couple people in the room who are just like, what's up, person who breathes and has a life? You know what I mean?
Who just so happens to make music.
Yeah, and so like my friend Sierra was like, yo, this is my best friend Dusty. And I just like hugged him and was like, man, like I feel like we have a lot in common. I'm not gonna bother you about it and ask you for shit, but like me and you are gonna hang out sometime soon, and like we'll probably work together eventually, or like I would love to write a song together or something. Like we'll just see. And he was, oh, definitely, mate, cool, just like being cool as fuck. But that's how it is, and that's the same thing with Sierra, dude. I've been friends with Sierra for 5 years. I've never even been to a gig. She's playing stadiums, and I could get into any show that I wanted if I asked. We're about to go see the Jonas Brothers together.
Yeah.
I don't know shit about the Jonas Brothers, but she's friends with them, and we're really close with their producer. His name's Chase. He's an awesome guy, but he was like he's their music director, and he like directs like the stage and everything. And he was like, you guys should come out. And so I think in October we're gonna go backstage with the Jonas Brothers, and it's I don't know what I'm gonna do.
That would be slick.
I mean, it'll just be cool to see it, you know? Everybody knows who they are.
Oh,
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where it's like, I'm going to meet these people, and maybe I'm wrong for this, but I'm not going to, I don't ask for shit, dude. Like, I don't want that. Like, I have like this ego thing about me where it's like, I want to prove myself, and I don't want handouts and favors from those people. Exactly. I don't want to be like, oh my God, you're a fucking celebrity, dude. Like, sign
Here's
me,
my demo
bro.
tape.
Yeah, dude, that sucks. I don't like that. I think it's icky. But it's like, maybe I'm wrong. You know what I mean? Sometimes all you got to do is just knock on the door and it opens. Yeah. So like, I'm trying to like really find a medium ground with that, where it's like, I want to be cool with them, and I need to like maybe pique their interest or something, rather than just be like, hey, will you help me? You know?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the move here lately. But Lil Jon's first.
Dude, gotta hit up Little John. Just fucking DM him.
I recently I followed him on Instagram, and I went through and I just fucking liked everything, dude. And surprisingly, like his engagement, I mean, because Lil Jon was like the king before social media.
Yeah.
So I think, I think he was successful enough that by the time all that shit came out, he's more of a DJ now, dude. He goes and DJs parties, and he just wrote like a meditation book. And he's into like workout videos. Like he's going to the gym, and like half of his content is him in the gym. Like he's not even like, yo, I'm Lil Jon anymore. But like surprisingly, I was like, damn, bro. Like if he's running this page, he's gonna see me. Like, yeah, because I liked like 40 videos, dude, and I was like, you're at least gonna see my name.
Exactly.
But
that reminds me of like T-Pain stuff, because sometimes even on his live streams, he'll be on some of his live streams, he does music where he records and stuff, and I'm like, kind of want to send him some of my songs, because sometimes he'll actually play some people who sends in music.
Well, I think last year he was like, I want to start a new band. I don't care what instruments I have. I don't have any ego. Like I don't have any ideas. Like I just want people to start sending me shit, and we'll see what happens. And I was like, that's kind of dope. You really never know.
Exactly.
T-Pain said that?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Because he did the Black Sabbath.
Oh yeah, under the covers.
He did
on
top of those covers, man.
On top of the covers. His Tennessee Whiskey, Paranoid.
Yeah, and I think
Sharing the Night Together.
I think that really opened him up to so many.
Oh, dude, after he did that.
Yeah, dude. I think so many rock artists were like, holy shit. I mean, Ozzy was like, that's the best War Pigs cover that ever existed. And well, that's because Ozzy didn't hear my War Pigs cover, but that's okay. I mean, yeah. And so he seems like he's just down. I don't know. I mean, I'm a busy dude. I'm not on that level, but it's like I like when people send me shit, and when people are just like, "Hey, can you help?" Like I love helping people, man. I don't really mind it. I'm not that busy, but I'm pretty fucking busy all the time. Like I can't just do everything, you know. But
well, I'm sure after doing it so many times, you start to gauge like kind of what is worth your time, and not saying the other stuff isn't important, but like, you know, what kind of is a little bit better use of your time, I guess.
You just really never know, man. You really never know who, especially now with social media. It's like you can hear something and be like, oh, they're never going to go anywhere. And then they're viral next year because they put up some fucking meme of them in a kitchen making fucking potato salad or something, dude.
Okay, so that kind of brings me into like one of the last things here on the topic of Spotify and their new terms and conditions that aren't entirely new because they've been out since March of 2024. But are you familiar with the whole new shebang that's going on with Spotify?
Not really, but I did see some memes that they're investing to the ones that we now speak about. If you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I heard that that's a thing, and that's really pissing people off.
The owner is privately investing into Helsing, I think, which is it's like it's a military drone company.
Yeah. That's not chill.
Yeah, that's
I don't like that.
Chill, bro.
I don't want to hear War Pigs off of that.
Yeah, right. Man, I mean, pretty much with everything, dude, it's 50-50 for me. I think the iPhone's the shit. I also think it's the worst thing to happen to society.
Well, Spotify's new terms is essentially if you want to host anything on their platform as an artist, you sign their terms and conditions, which include they are allowed to make derivative works of your.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then they can take it and put it into AI and just steal all your ideas.
Right.
I think it's a disaster and it's a slippery slope and it's all going to get worse and worse. But I also think that the more that it gets worse, the more people are going to go do something else. So it's like the more that they fuck themselves by trying to make everyone else's lives shittier, it's like the closer that we get to a revolution anyways. So it's like I kind of don't care, but like
Yeah, my opinion is like I think humans are kind of too what's the word, like snooty for lack of better words,
Yeah.
to accept like AI as art. Like I
Right.
think there'll still be like, like, hey, this was made by a
Oh.
human or this was made by a computer.
Yeah, playlisting and streaming and live music are two different things now, and it's like pretty much, dude. Once LimeWire and like Napster happened, it was like, all right, live music is really the real way to make money now, and it's just gotten worse and worse. But it's like, I personally, dude, I have a Spotify because I have to, but I'm not subscribed to it. I have Apple Music because I need to go up and look myself up sometimes, but like I listen to music on YouTube. And if I discover a new artist, it's probably
that for years, man.
well, they pay the most.
Exactly.
And there's all these new companies that try to come out and they're like, well, we're going to pay our artists. And it's like, we have like fucking 200 artists. Like no one's really using your app, And that's what sucks is Spotify takes all the money from the artists and then invests it to making themselves the number one supplier of music. And it's like, it's a trap. It's like, what do we do? Because if you take your music off of Spotify, you're losing like half of your fucking fan base. Exactly. And it's like, what can we really do about that? I think my thing is just not give a shit, because at the end of the day, the internet isn't real, and Spotify and Instagram are not a real place, and you sell fucking tickets, bro.
Exactly.
Just like just book shows and sell tickets and go out and like live a good life and eat good food and like.
That's the point I've been trying to make on here forever. Is like, you're not gonna make money off of streams anymore. You're gonna make money off of merchandise, off of shows at the door, or ad revenue. That's about it.
And especially
obviously there's sync licensing. Which is another whole avenue. But.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like you can focus on all of those things, and most of it doesn't necessarily require numbers as much as it requires like knowing somebody. Because at the end of the day, man, I know bands that don't have any social media following that are killing it. And then I know bands that have an incredibly crazy social media following and they don't sell any tickets and no one actually gives a fuck because they got all their followers making funny skits, and it's like that you make funny skits, but like no one knows that you actually make music.
Glitter Squad.
Yeah, so it's like it doesn't. I don't know. I mean, I just think that there's no right way and there's no wrong way. Art is so subjective that there's for anyone who says like, oh, you have to do this or you can't do that. It's like you don't get it. Anyone can blow up, and every time we make a decision on like this is the way that it works, something new happens. And then everyone starts looking at that, and then everyone vultures off of that thing. And so it's like, I just fucking don't care.
We were talking about on the last podcast, just like the revolution of or renaissance of SoundCloud. And it was just like a couple years, like 2014 to 2019 is kind of what everybody said.
Yeah.
Like the gold era was, 2015 and 2016. But
yeah.
To this day now, now it's all changed, but now it's all TikTok and whatever. But I still think like TikTok or SoundCloud has like great potential because
Bandcamp, dude.
Oh yeah, Bandcamp.
Bandcamp's cool. What I'm thinking is when I get these albums done, like I said, like in a formal sense, I'm gonna play the game and try and get like distribution deals and stuff like that. But until that is what it is, what I was thinking is put all of my music as it's done, like all my unreleased stuff, put it on a private SoundCloud link or put it on a Bandcamp link, and it's like, it's not out, but you can still buy it and you can still have it. Or even like fucking...
Would you say
print CDs, dude?
Say physical copies.
Just like sell CDs at your merch booth, but like don't release the music.
It's kind of coming back. I've seen at a lot of the metal shows. They're still selling CDs and shit.
I mean, vinyl's huge.
And tapes.
Tapes are like a thing. CDs were dope though, dude. It's like a perfect little square.
Oh, dude, my car still has a fucking CD deck in it. So
Yeah. You got that album art, and then you can put like the little booklets and the stickers inside and shit. And it's like there's people that are still doing it.
Yeah, no, like what is it? I think if I'm correct, my dad still has his like huge binder of like CDs to this day of like Usher, Incubus.
Yeah, bro. Oh yeah.
But also like some probably like LimeWire and Napster CDs too that he's probably gotten off whenever he finally got in at his house.
Everybody's dad has a fucking at least one or two like ripped CDs. Of just
which is like Sharpie on it telling the track list.
My band before we broke up, when we got our album done, we had like demo versions of every song or like a version of the song that we thought was going on the album, and then we redid it. We put one of each of like the best version of the song that wasn't going on the album. We put them on a fucking thumb drive, dude. They were custom thumb drives that looked like golden keys, and then we had our band name printed on it, and we sold them at merch booths. And it was like this. None of these are out yet. And these aren't even what's going on the album, but like this is a sneak peek of all the alternate like B versions of everything on the album. And so that was cool. I mean, we only ordered like 50 of them, but we ended up selling all of them. So that was cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So I guess as like a last thing, just plug yourself, man.
Brother Dusty. I'm on everything. I don't really use TikTok. I've got a TikTok. So if you want to wait patiently, it'll be a thing. I've got one song out. It's called Whoa. And I got 3 albums coming fucking whenever. That's a thing. And I'm going to be touring all through October, November, and like the first half of December. My next thing, when does this come out?
Next week?
Yeah, it'll probably be next week, yeah.
My next thing as of right now is October 3rd at Kinda Spoopy. It's a Halloween festival. Tickets from what I saw on the website are pretty cheap, but it's a 4-day Halloween camp out festival in Adams, Tennessee. That's gonna be dope. We're playing Friday night, 8:20 to 9.
Oh fuck yeah.
And that should be sick. I'm excited about that. And then really after that, we're gonna play like the Underdog in like October, towards the end of October, and then. Other than that, man, I'm pretty much just touring around and not trying to play Nashville until like next year, you know.
Yeah.
What's your Instagram?
Brother Dusty.
Fuck yeah.
It's Brother Dusty everywhere, I'm pretty sure.
Sick.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, man, let's do it again when I have a voice.
Oh yeah. Peace out.
Yeah. See you.
Yeah.